Hi, welcome back. I am finally talking about a phenomenal foundation formula I've been teasing here and there in my previous videos and also over on Instagram. I've already talked about this on Instagram and TikTok a little bit, but I wanted to use it a little bit more to give you a full in-depth review. From the moment I used it, I was like, yes, it was just one of those formulas where I could just tell it was going to be so incredibly beautiful. So the foundation in question is the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup. So I cannot confirm when this came out. I know it is not a new release. It's been out for at least a year because I've been toggling back and forth with purchasing this. I put it in my cart and then I take it out. I'm so happy with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer, and even Estee Lauder Double Wear Original, I think if used in the right way, is a phenomenal and beautiful foundation. But I just felt like I didn't need another Estee Lauder foundation. Then I saw a friend of mine talking about this on her Instagram stories, and I had it in my saved still on Sephora, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna purchase this. We're gonna see how it goes. How it went is that I was floored. This foundation, spoiler, if you couldn't tell by how I'm already talking, is stunning. And I can't wait to get into more specifics on this. So if you want to hear a little bit more about this and see how it wears throughout the day, some color options, then let's go ahead and get into it. So this is described as a flawless foundation with breathable coverage and a radiant finish. It also is powdered with Estee Lauder skincare to hydrate, soothe, and protect. So I want to talk about that for a minute because this does have a smell to it. Whether that's the skincare or added fragrance, I'm not 100% sure, so I did want to be upfront about that. It is very mild. It's not off-putting like Chanel. It actually smells a little bit like cucumber. So for me, that kind of points to probably some of the Estee Lauder skincare products because I've tried those before and they do have that familiar like green cucumber scent. So it says the highlighted ingredients are chia seed extract for nourishment, probiotic technology to soothe the skin, and ion charged water for hydration, whatever that means. Honestly, I'm really not interested in anything that's in this foundation. I'll be upfront. I just know it slaps and it looks beautiful. So let's get into application, finish, what I've experienced while wearing this. So I'm currently wearing the shade 1C1 Cool Bone. I have this shade in my Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer, and it's a really good match for me right now. Some of you have messaged me saying you think that this formula runs a little dark. I'm gonna put a side-by-side of my Double Wear Sheer and this in the same shade, 1C1 Cool Bone. Honestly, I couldn't tell a difference, but I did get some feedback from some of you all saying you felt like this ran a little dark. If you want to reference my shade for summertime, I wear, I think it's 2-in-1 Desert Beige. Desert is in the name if you just look it up, and it is more of a neutral tone. I don't find this to be overly pink when I use it. The shade selection is a little confusing in Estee Lauder products. For me to be in the neutral light category right now, I would have had to have went with Ecru, which is too light for me. It's the only neutral one in the like fair to light range, and it's just too light for me. So I went with 1C1, and it's like, honestly, I think it's a perfect match. Okay, where to even begin with this? So I used this for the first time in a TikTok Get Ready With Me. It was my first ever impression. And if you go back to that video, you can see I was too stunned to speak. I absolutely fell in love with the formula immediately. It is very thin and it's super flexible. In terms of coverage, this is where I think Estee Lauder is, I don't know if they're genius for this or maybe a little bit sneaky, but for me, this is a super similar formula to the original Double Wear and Double Wear Sheer, but it falls in the middle. So Double Wear Sheer is gonna be your sheerest, Double Wear Original, your fullest, and this falls somewhere in between. Now, I will say I find that this formula is definitely a little bit more hydrating on the skin. Some of you with Estee Lauder Original Double Wear and also the Double Wear Sheer think that it's a little bit too flat. This does have the radiance like it claims, but it's not dewy. It's radiant, as in the description says. So take that however you will. It just looks beautiful and healthy and youthful on the skin. There's no overwhelming glow happening with this. It's just so versatile, and I just feel like so many different skin types can use this. Coverage is buildable on this. I do believe that you can get a true medium finish. If you start exceeding like 1.5 pumps on this, I think it's just too much. You're kind of wasting the beautiful effects that this foundation can have. I use 1 pump for my entire face, and I think it is the perfect amount of coverage. I also think that this would be a beautiful, versatile foundation for daily wear and also special occasion wear. So we love to see that in foundation formulas when we can use it for multiple things. I want to talk about longevity because this is one of those rare special foundations where I think it actually looks better as you wear it throughout the day. Yesterday especially, I was really trying to analyze just to see if I could pick something apart for this video to like critique it on. And I couldn't. By the end of the day, I was actually FaceTiming my dad, and I kept looking like at my skin because normally when I FaceTime, I'm like, I don't even want to like look. But I kept seeing like how like my makeup literally looked like how I had applied it, 6-7 hours prior to. And that's really rare at the end of the day. So as I wear this throughout the day and I check in the mirror to see how it looks, I'm always really pleased with how it looks on my skin. I don't find that it's settling anywhere. It's just so thin in texture, and I love to see that in foundations because it's almost like an immediate guarantee that it at least is going to sit well on the skin. And this one definitely does. It's just so thin and almost serum-like this serum veil that goes on your skin, but it has a decent amount of coverage. So in terms of longevity, I have had like no issues. This to me, and that's why I love Estee Lauder. I think every single one of their foundations I have tried has had such a beautiful longevity, wears very well throughout the day, can hold up in hot heat. This has been no exception. Now, granted, I don't have hot heat right now where I can test it in the sweltering sun, but honestly, in the summertime, I probably would reach for my Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer over this because it is just that breathable summer, skin tint that I prefer. And it also has a little bit more of that natural satin finish where, it could help tame some excess like sweat or oil throughout the day. So this to me right now is like the winter foundation for me. I am absolutely loving it. Stunning longevity, stunning finish from the time it goes on in the morning till the evening time when I'm ready to take it off. So I will use a bit of translucent powder in like T-zone area. Most of the glow that you're seeing right now is actually happening from the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury Light Wand in the Beauty Talk color. Apparently I can't talk today, in Pillow Talk. I'm wearing the Beauty Light Wand in Pillow Talk. So that glow right there is coming from that. But I have set, in my T-zone, and then I like to set in my cheek area as well. I don't like to have sticky cheeks throughout the day. But I have worn this a few times already just as is, and it does set down lovely. I don't think you're going to have as good of longevity if you don't set it, just like with any foundation really, but it does look super radiant, glowy, and youthful throughout the day. For application, I have been using the Makeup by Mario new foundation brush. I have used it I haven't done like a direct application with a beauty blender, but I've used a beauty blender to just kind of like smooth and even things out. Looks gorgeous that way. Honestly, I don't see why this would not work with a beauty blender. It's just one of those versatile formulas that I think you could use your hands, beauty blender, or foundation brush with. I just get, in these ruts where I'm using a brush, or like for 3 months I'm using the beauty blender with everything. And right now my preferred method has been just using a brush. But again, I think you could probably use really anything, and it just has such a flexible formula that it would look nice regardless. Honestly, I don't even know what else to say. I have no critiques on this. There have been absolutely no red flags, nothing that has popped up to make me dislike this foundation. It has just been a true game changer. And it's funny, the last time I did a video like this where I really dedicated, full in-depth review on a foundation that I had truly been loving, it was Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer. So if I'm pulling this out for its own special cameo, then it is truly a beautiful formula. I don't like to throw around the "you need this" term, and of course I'm not telling you go out and purchase this immediately, but if you're running low on your foundation, next time you need a refill and you're at Sephora, at least pick up a sample of this to try out, because It is truly just beautiful. It's what I love to see in a foundation formula. Thin, flexible, buildable coverage, long wearing, and sits on the skin so perfectly. That's something that is such a huge bonus with this. I just think it looks like a perfect sheer veil on your skin. I definitely think if you're already an Estee Lauder complexion fan, this is going to be a game changer. It's probably going to be, I can't see anyone going out and purchasing this and thinking it looks bad, because in my mind, just feeling this texture, playing around with it for over a week now, I can see it working for normal, dry, combo, textured, acne-prone skin. And again, I do want to caution, because anytime I do have anytime there is a scent in a foundation, I want to let people know, because I'm not a fan of it. I don't love to see it, but I'll make an exception for this one because she just does pop off so well that I can't be mad. I can't be mad. The scent doesn't last. And, after reading the description, I do probably feel like it's those skincare products. Not that it makes the fragrance part any better, but there are some of you out there that are absolutely no tolerance for fragrance. And yeah, I mean, this is not listed as like fragrance free or anything of that nature. I really don't think any of the Estee Lauder foundations are, but sample up. I always recommend samples first if you're not sure, or if you don't want to commit fully. Just walk on up in there and be like, hey, saw this on YouTube, want a little sample first. I'm sensitive, afraid, there might be fragrance in it or something that could irritate my skin. So yeah, this pretty much it, honestly. I knew this was going to be a quick video. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much, but I just wanted to bring this foundation on your radar because it is now going into my Estee Lauder vault. I mean, not just my Estee Lauder vault, my beautiful foundation vaults, where when I need a selection to pick from for special events, something that's going to last, something that's going to look beautiful, this one's going into that category because, yeah, I think it's beautiful. And keep in mind the description I said prior to in this video. If you want to compare to other Estee Lauder foundations, this is going to be in between Estee Lauder Double Wear Original and Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer. Now, this does not have the Double Wear name, the Double Wear claim, but personally, I think it lasts just as well. So this is going to be in between. If you find that Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer is too light for you and Estee Lauder Double Wear Original is just too heavy or too much coverage, this is your girl. This is your girl right here. But I think I covered all of the bases. If I didn't, feel free to leave a question down below. Also, let me know if this is one you've tried before. I feel like I've seen a couple of you recommend this in videos, but like I said, I don't know why it's taken me so long to try it. I just was super pleased with the Estee Lauder foundations I already have. And just, again, I'm trying to do Project Pan, use up stuff. So it took me a while to pick up, but I'm so glad that I did. And I honestly think that you will be too. So next time you're on the hunt for a new one, check this out, pick up a sample. I don't think you will be disappointed. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.